In the coming hours, Prince Philip will be laid to rest following a ceremonial royal funeral at Windsor Castle. The funeral will celebrate his service to the United Kingdom, his unwavering loyalty to the Queen and his long association with the Navy. SBS Chief International Correspondent Ben Lewis and SBS Correspondent Michelle Rimmer are both in Windsor tonight and join us now. First to you, Ben. The Duke of Edinburgh famously wanted a fuss-free funeral, and it seems that is exactly what he's getting.
Yeah, absolutely, Anton. Good evening. Prince Philip first began planning his funeral some 25 years ago, and it is going to be a simple, traditional service. There will be no eulogy, no sermon, just blessing, hymns and the national anthem. Of course, all thoughts today are going to be with the Queen, and she has paid tribute to her late husband by releasing a very personal photograph.
Relaxed and happy together. This previously private image, taken in 2003, was chosen by the Queen to be published before her husband's funeral. Outside St George's Chapel, where the service will be conducted, Prince Edward, the Countess of Wessex and their daughter Louise took time to read some of the many hundreds of tributes left to the Duke of Edinburgh, which had been moved from the gates of Windsor Castle. There will be just 30 masked mourners at the scaled-down service, the Queen sitting alone.
She's the Queen. She will behave with the extraordinary dignity and extraordinary courage that she always does. And at the same time, she is saying farewell to someone to who she was married for 73 years. I think that must be a very, very profound thing for in anybody's life. And I hope that the whole nation, if they believe in that, they pray for her. If they don't, they sympathise and in their hearts offer their condolences to her and the hope for her to find strength in what must be an anguished moment.
Proceedings will begin in Windsor Castle's central quadrangle, where the Duke's coffin will be placed on a custom Land Rover, before the small 8-minute-long funeral procession begins. Some members of the royal family will walk behind the vehicle. The Queen will follow in a limousine, the route lined by the military. The coffin will be carried up the west steps of St George's Chapel, and there will be a minute's silence before the service begins. At its conclusion, the Duke's coffin will be lowered into the royal vault, but it will not be his final resting place. When the Queen dies, he will be transferred to the King George VI Memorial Chapel to lie alongside his wife. There has been a steady stream of people travelling to Windsor to pay their respects since Prince Philip's death was announced a week ago. The palace and police have politely asked people to stay home for the funeral. There will be nothing for the public to see here.
It's crazy trying to even come near here. I mean, we've got the greatest respect for the royal family, the Queen.
And that's who we feel sorry for, is the Queen, sitting there on her own. Yeah. She'll have her family, but it's just going to be sad, isn't it? Her just on her own after all these years.
We feel so sorry for her, the same as we would for our own grandmothers and mothers. It's a long time to have been with somebody our whole life.
Millions around the world will be watching as the monarch says a final goodbye to her husband of 73 years.
And Ben, we understand the palace has released more details about today's service.
Yeah, that's right, Anton. We know there will be a choir consisting of just 4 singers. There will also be an organist inside the chapel, and they will be performing hymns which were chosen by Prince Philip himself. Some have links to his naval history. Members of the royal family will not actually be allowed to sing along because of coronavirus restrictions. The palace has also released some of the remarks that will be made during the service by the Dean of Windsor. He will say, "With grateful hearts we remember the many ways in which his long life has been a blessing to us. We have been inspired by his unwavering loyalty to our Queen, by his service to the nation and the Commonwealth, by his courage, fortitude and faith. Our lives have been enriched through the challenges that he has set us, the encouragement that he has given us, his kindness, humour and humanity. And in the last few minutes, new images have been released showing the Queen. It is the first time we have seen her since her husband passed away last Friday. She was snapped on the Windsor estate driving her car. We understand she was driving towards Frogmore Cottage, which is where Prince Harry has been undergoing self-quarantine since arriving from the United States. Anton, an incredibly sad and difficult day for her. She has been in a period of official mourning, although we understand yesterday she did take time to speak on the telephone to Australia's Governor-General.